Hi, this is Dr. Karen Sherman, founder of Your Empowered Relationship. We're several weeks past the beginning of the New Year's, and I'm sure that many of you made lots of New Year's resolutions. However, I'm also sure that many of you have not kept them at this point, have broken them. Why do I know that? Because it's really very normal. Now, it's not that you didn't have good intentions, but there are different kinds of resolutions. Some of them are really easy, like you may have said, I'm going to go to the gym a couple of times a week, and in fact, you've been able to do that. However, there are many more resolutions that are difficult to keep because they are more complicated. There are things like, I want to lose weight, a very, very common resolution, or perhaps you want to not be so angry as often, or you want to not drink as much as you've been drinking, things like that. And for those resolutions, what you're really doing is you're trying to control the symptom, and you may not be able to do that because, as I just said, it's a symptom. There's something really underneath it. There's some behavior that's driving it, some need. In my own life, I have had a weight problem, and it wasn't until I really got to the root of it, to what was driving my need to be eating, that I was able to control it. And so what I'm suggesting to you is that it may take a little bit more work if you want to really work on getting that behavior stopped. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, it just means that you got to get to the root of the problem. So why am I even talking about this with you since I'm a relationship expert? Well, because obviously whatever you do or you don't do has an impact on your mate. So for instance, let's say that you are drinking as opposed to dealing with your problems, then you're likely to shut down in your relationship or maybe lash out, and that of course is going to have an effect on your mate. So here are 3 tips that I would suggest if you are having trouble controlling some of your behaviors, keeping your resolutions up. The first one is to speak to your mate. Maybe you and your mate together can come to some ideas for what it is that's underneath the behavior, what's driving your behavior, what it is that is of concern to you. The second one is that there is such an enormous amount of support groups these days that deal with problems. Weight Watchers, Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever. They're very, very useful. So check some of those out. And the third one is that maybe you want to go speak to a professional. Sometimes if you speak to somebody who is trained and who is objective, they can help you to really look at, again, what's underneath your behavior. Now, speaking about going to a professional, I'm sure you know that I have a private practice that specializes in relationships, and if your relationship needs a little help, it's always a good idea to go and check it out and get some help, probably sooner than later. But there was something that I realized. A lot of times in life, couples just sort of lose their way. You feel disconnected. The feelings that you had at the beginning of your relationship just aren't there anymore. You don't mean it to happen, but it does, and all of a sudden you feel kind of lonely, and as I said, those feelings aren't there anymore. But I also realized that a lot of couples just don't have the time, the money, or the energy to go for the help. So I created a new website in order to address that issue. It's called Make Your Marriage Work Now. It offers you comprehensive information along with access to me on a monthly basis. So if you're having those feelings, you don't have to anymore. You can get those good feelings back. Check it out now. Make Your Marriage Work Now. Okay? So in the meantime, always remember what I say. If you want to move out of an emotionally frozen life to a chosen life, then trust yourself. This is Dr. Karen. I'll see you next time.